If you hopped onto this video, I know we may not know each other personally, but this is Stream of Consciousness, where I will be strictly talking about reality creation, consciousness, subconscious beliefs, and everything that is going on right now in the last 24 hours of my life. I stream every single day, 12 p.m. EST. Okay, correction. I stream Monday through Friday 12 p.m. EST to just talk to people about what it is that they have going on in their universe, the reality that they want to create, and then also talk to you about the tips and tricks that I've been using to ensure that I create the reality that I want to see. What's up? What's up? What's up? If you want to go, if you want to like talk to me at all during the live, of course, just come on at 12 p.m. EST Monday through Friday, or you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram right now. So now that we got that introduction in, I'm ready to get into it. I'm ready to get into it because I am constantly, every single morning, I am listening to things about law of attraction, manifestation, subconscious beliefs. And I'm like, I cannot be the only one who are, constantly listening to these thoughts and actions. Are constantly like trying to inform themselves about how to create the reality that they want to see for themselves. But it's like, you're just listening to it. You're just listening to it. You're hearing it all the time. And I think that there is truly a curse to knowledge unless you actually implement the things that you want to build and do, you know? So glad that everyone's on here. Hold on. Let me turn on the air, get this thing moving. I done made my protein shake. Honestly, the best one I've made so far. And I'm still trying to make sure that I get one that actually tastes decent. I want to get the protein in, but it got to taste good because I'm not beat for the chalkiness. I am not beat for it at all. I ain't got the capacity. It need to taste good. I don't care how healthy it is. The thing that I'm trying to create in my reality right now is that I am currently competing for the World Championships of Public Speaking. I don't know if it's a surprise to you all, but I like to talk. So much so that I've made it a profession. And now I am taking that profession to the biggest stage I have been on thus far. Of course, I've traveled the world. I've been able to live my life as a full-time creative over the last 6 years, although I have been speaking for over 25 years. And I just want to talk about how that was how I was able to create that reality for myself. Because I am making content on Instagram, mainly as my largest platform. I recently grew about 60,000 followers and over a million views. Probably, I think a little under 3 million views at this point. Teaching people about the different ways that they could win opportunities in their life. And one of the biggest, after doing all these consulting calls, after having conversations with dozens of creatives and small business entrepreneurs, it all boils down to your mindset. I know it's fluffy. Because anytime we want to talk about mindset, I know it get a little like, that's not practical, tactical advice. But ain't no practical, tactical advice going to be able to help you if you don't believe that you are capable of achieving the goal that you have set ahead. There is no practical advice a human being can give you if you have limiting beliefs. If you believe that someone else is smarter or more capable of doing something than you are, there is nothing that I tell you that is going to help you out. So I realize that I'm going to have to shift my content a little bit. I got to shift my content a little bit because there's no strategy without understanding the soul. There's no strategy without it. It's ridiculous. And honestly, there's a curse to knowledge, which we'll actually get into this in this conversation on Stream of Consciousness. I'm doing my best I was like, dang, should I organize my stream? I mentioned that, you know what I mean? Because I'm going live every day, and typically when it's Stream of Consciousness, I just say whatever's on my mind. I'm kind of hoping I say some things that ruffle some feathers. Kind of hoping I say some things that inspire some people to fly. Both happen at the same time. I kind of like that. Inspire to fly and ruffle the feathers. I still have to write my speech for the World Championship. So largely, I have been doing these streams to practice my articulation, because in order for me to become the world champion of public speaking, I have to align myself with the identity. And I said, what on earth do the best public speakers in the world do? They speak. Well, guess what I'm going to be doing? And not only do they speak, but I am somebody who has been speaking on cue for decades. I realized that speaking on cue is a very difficult thing for many people to do. If somebody were to walk up and ask you, like, what is it that you do? Or what do you think? Or, if you ever had to just automatically just turn on, step in front of a group of people and say something, most people will freeze. So everybody who is looking at the live, whether you are on YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram, please drop in the comments, how's your energy today? How's your energy? Where you at? How you feeling? Because I know you didn't expect me. I didn't expect you, but I very well believe that something in this stream is going to connect and hopefully inspire you to move forward another day on your journey. So please drop it in. I'm at a point where I need to organize my chaos to the vessel. I feel like you were typing very quickly. Arhina, I feel like I'm trying to read the comments here or whatever. I'm at a point where I need to organize my chaos to the vessel. Meaningful light, beautiful. I'm in a very good place, and indeed, word, folks are tuned in. And I actually have people who join the live stream from all over the world. So I'm streaming right now at 12 p.m. EST, but yesterday I had folks from Portugal, South Africa, and it's beautiful, because I do feel like we are at a time in human history where this conversation about consciousness, manifestation, law of attraction are so much more accessible to the average person. So much more accessible. But like so many people who are in the process of doing that, I still have aspects to my reality that I want to shift. So long as I live and breathe, there will be aspects to my reality that I want to shift. I have actually come to terms with the fact that I may not be able to solve all my flaws in this one lifetime. You might have to come to grips with the fact that you may not be able to solve all of your problems in this lifetime. You can try to do a few. You know what I mean? You try to do a few, but to be honest with you, some of these things gonna follow me to the grave. Some of these things gonna follow me to the grave. I'm trying to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about me though is that, and I don't know if this is anything that anyone resonates with in the video, but the thing about me is that at any given point, I know that there's a dozen things. Like, okay, I got to make sure I'm eating right. I got to make sure I'm exercising. I've got to make sure I'm doing everything for my business. I want to, make sure my love life is good and my relationships, my friendships, my community. Every day, I got to choose which fire I'm going to put out first. Every day. But at the end of the day, I know I'm just happy because of my level of awareness and because of the trajectory I've already been on, I'm at a point where I know that I'm getting 1% better every day. Whether I see those things that shift or not, I know that I'm getting better every single day. Shoot, if you were to look at me and who I was before, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You know what I want to do? I wish that there was a way to, let me see the camera. Can I? Boom. It was me all along. It was me all along. Because I realized, I'm like, why is my hat backwards? So much better. So much. Wait, hold on. Is it better? Yeah, tell me, am I backwards? Because I'm forward in the camera that I'm looking at, but I feel like I'm backwards on the actual thing. And I don't know why that happens. Which is odd. Yeah, nah, it is. I don't know. Whatever. Forget it. I know I'm fine. Thank you so much. He's like, you know what? It's fine. Either way. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody worry about whether you backwards or forwards. Because you know what it is, though, is that I actually take this stream, I chop it up, and I create clips. So every time I do this stream, it turns into 20 to 30 pieces of short form content that gets distributed all over the internet, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. I actually made an app to do that. Right? I'm like, oh, am I even an app creator? Of course I am. You want to know why? Because I am what I say I am. I am what I say I am. Now, I have a few different tasks today. Okay. I've already answered a lot of my emails, but I have been working on my affirmations. I've been working on my affirmations. Now, I'm not somebody who does affirmations often, not in the traditional sense. And what I mean is that, like, when people say like, I am proud, or I am this, or I am, and you in the mirror doing the work and stuff like that, I haven't been doing that. I meditate, I journal, and I've been saying to myself, I am going to slowly incorporate these different, I wouldn't say the typical, the cliche things that people say will get you to your desired reality. I have been deciding to do that more often in my life. So one of those things is affirmations. I wrote my affirmations and I kind of want to make them into a song. The reason I want to do that is because I want to put it on a beat, right? I'm gonna be listening to it like how I listen to my subliminals at night, but I'm gonna listen to it and I want to put it in a song because I just feel like if I like liking a song and having it on repeat, it just gets in your mind better. The same way that folks be listening, like you may not even like a song, but because you've heard it so often and you know, maybe you like the beat or whatever, all of a sudden it's in your mind. So I'm gonna do that for myself because if I need to shift my reality in the next 30 days, I need to work with whatever else I got. I'm gonna work whatever I got. So I'm gonna hustle it. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Now, I wrote my affirmations and I took some notes here. So I don't know if anyone in here does affirmations, but what I will say is that I wrote these affirmations earlier in the week and I'm going to be recording them today, but I was saying them to myself. And I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to document the journey. I'm going to see what in my life changes when I start to affirm things. The thing about when you go after something like affirmations or subconscious beliefs, the reason most people are hesitant to do it is because it's not an instant solution. Nor can you actually see how affirmations or meditation or journaling immediately shift the reality you exist in. Right? They're all like planting seeds. And you same day you plant the seed isn't the same day you bear the fruit. So most people was like, okay, what if I keep saying to myself, I am this, it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. You're actually right. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's whether or not you believe it. And believing it is only a matter of you being able to keep repeating it to yourself. You know, only whether you keep repeating it to yourself. So I was saying to myself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write my affirmations and I'm going to record them the music. I wrote my affirmations. I found a beat and I was like, yo, this is kind of fire. Not going to hold you. I'll probably post an Instagram reel with my affirmations in it. If anybody is interested in getting the affirmations, I'm going to post it. All right. And they're specifically connected to what I have going on in Earth. And I took some notes for anybody who is interested in doing some affirmation work, right? In terms of affirmations, these were the notes that I took in order to write the ones that I wanted for my life, right? The most powerful sentence in the world and the most complete is I am. And anything that follows I am is going to be the standard in which you exist in the universe. It's the most important sentence you will ever say. I am blank. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to do some I am affirmations. You know, I'm grateful. I'm proud. I'm confident. I'm smart. I'm creative. I am likable. I'm enjoyable. My energy is contagious, right? So that's when I go into the other types of affirmations. When I said like my energy is contagious, that is when I am saying things that I want to continually believe. Right. So I am and my became the introduction to my manifestations. I use both of those interchangeably. Okay. Use them both interchangeably. And in order for me to get whatever it is, I know that the highest emotion that I want to exist in, the highest frequency I want to exist in is gratitude. And I'm grateful. I'm not going to hold you. If life is a simulation, hypothetically, and this is all a video game, I am quite thrilled with the character that I like selected prior to entering this dimension and with the game choices I have made to this point. I'm grateful. Lord knows, because I could have made some permanent decisions that derailed me into a whole different timeline. You know, I'm so grateful. I am so very grateful. I'd be looking up. I'm like, yo, God, you really was looking out for the kid, because the way I was trying to self-sabotage when I was in my teens, the way I was trying to self-sabotage, when I tell you I was a hooligan, I wasn't a bad kid, but I was out here just experimenting. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what does this do? What kind of life can I live over here with these, people? I'm so happy. I'm so very happy. Luckily, the gang members, they knew. They met me and they was like, Queen, you're not about this life. You know what I mean? I met some folks in my life and they was like, you know what, Queen, you're really not about this life. I'm just, you got a whole nother path ahead of you. I'm glad they saw it. I'm like, what do you mean, guys? Come on. These streets need me. Yo, you are love, you are loved, you are shine. I am confident. Word. That's all I want to get repeated to myself. Confidence. Because I don't exist in it 24/7. You know, I do not exist in it 24/7. The goal is not to remove doubt. The goal is not to remove doubt. Stop thinking, oh, there's a little birdie outside. Sorry, I have the attention span of a goldfish. Hi, birdie. There's actually bird nests outside my window, so I spend, I kind of like it. It's like, I'm gonna get my own little feeder thing without them ever having to worry. I actually should put a feeder out there. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. Add feeder. I told you this was a stream of consciousness. I told you what it was before you hopped in here. All right. You are only here to hear my intrusive thoughts. And in between them, there might be something that could revolutionize your life. Make no promises, but I will attempt. And as I was saying, my affirmations. All right. So we got the I ams, we got the my's. Gratitude is the one that I live in. Thankfully, I am extremely grateful for the life that I have. So gratitude, thankfulness, those are things that I started off with. And the goal, right? Or I don't want to say the goal, but the structure of an affirmation is so that whatever you're saying already exists. The structure of an affirmation is it already exists. I don't currently believe that you have to stand in front of a mirror or you have to write it 100 times. I don't necessarily believe that. I do think that you should be saying it in your mind as often as possible. But I think if I were to tell anybody about the number one rule of an affirmation, it is that it should be written or articulated in the way that it is in the present reality. All right. You're not trying to affirm something where it's like, I will get to where I'm going. Right. Because that implies the word will implies lack. Like I will, like if you say something like, I will be healthy, I will be smart, I will be brave. The word will implies lack. It means that you do not currently possess that characteristic, trait, or thing, but you will in the future. That is not the way manifestation works. It's not the way it works. Okay. We're not here to be like, oh yeah, I will do that. I will do this. The most annoying law of the universe is that you can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. If you do not have it, then you don't have it. And if you want it, you got to have it. Okay. Make sure to drop into the comments. Just talk to me about what it is that you are looking to create right now, right? What is it that you are looking to build? Because I'm really curious. I have a ton of small business owners who come onto the stream and everyone is trying to create something. It could be more stability in your finances, your business. You're trying to win more opportunities. You are trying to answer the question of what it is that you want. And majority of the people who are following me on social media, I think it's split into two different groups. You tell me whether or not I'm wrong, but I think it's split into two different groups. And these two different groups are asking me one of two things. They're either saying, how can I find more opportunities to find financial freedom? Or number two, how can I understand my identity better? I didn't even realize that I would end up in a situation where both of those things would be in the same conversation. Up until I realized how much my financial stability was connected to who I thought I was. My most viewed video on my social media profile is about my conversation with a millionaire and how I had to confront the limiting beliefs that I had about making money in the most uncomfortable way possible. I had to confront those beliefs with shame. Now, I know shame is a hard thing. You know what I mean? I know that embarrassment is a difficult thing for folks, but I'm not going to hold you. Can't nothing quite change your life. Can't nothing quite change your life like a little bit of shame and judgment. That's why I'm like, I need to be in the environments of people who would look at me a little strange, like, you just going to party all day? So you're not even going, you just going to party all day? You just going to doom scroll? You just going to do that with yourself? I need those people around me. All right, let me check out these comments because I know they move in and I know that everybody's in here. Okay, so we got some folks who got bird nests out their window. Shout out to y'all. All right, I actually have it out both of my windows. I'm definitely putting some outside. I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? We have somebody else in here who creates comic books. Notice more pop-up events or also start to have my own events and pasta bars. A little bit of divine comedy. I kind of like that. Is this divine comedy? I feel like people tell me that I'm funny in real life. I swear, people tell me that I'm funny in real life. But then they also say that they don't think that I would do like sketch comedy funny. You know, like go to a comedy bar and sit in front of it. He's like, I don't know about that kind of funny, but you're like conversational funny where you're talking and you say something where I'm like, that's hilarious. You know what I mean? I think I could. But then again, I think that, you know, I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You know what I mean? That's in my world. My problem is that I believe I could do all things. That's my problem. My debacle is that I am too determined, and every dream that comes to my consciousness, I believe I can create. There is not a single one. And what I have to realize, though, especially over the last few days, is that I am what some people would consider a high capacity individual. Now, there is a spectrum. I have met people who are just their discipline, their determination for what it is that they're doing. I admire. There are people I'm looking at them like, dang, I'm not David Goggins. You ever seen David Goggins? If you don't know nothing about David Goggins, and I just know a little bit, all I know is that he be just like jumping into swimming pools with bricks tied to his legs so that he can find a way to solve his problems in the midst of drowning. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'm taking a bit more comfortable approach to my manifestation. I'm not going to hold you. My manifestation is a little bit more comfortable. There are some days where I cheat on my diet quite comfortably. You know what I'm saying? I be doing scrolling. I be doing my little thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't be moving but what I will say though, is because I have been doing what I have been doing for so long. What I mean is in terms of creating, I've been traveling the world. I have, anytime I have an intuition in my life, I follow it. That does mean that sometimes, I got to worry about bills. I got to worry about this, whatever the case may be. But there's nothing stopping you from doing what it is that you want to do besides you. It's not money. It's not a ability or any of those things like that. The unfortunate scenario is that time has become so apparent to people. Does anybody feel like they're running out of time? Does anybody in the chat feel like they're running out of time? What I mean is that like you're doing something, and the whenever you're trying to create something in your life, the idea of time is present in some way, shape, or form. Oh, I've been trying to, grow my social media. Oh, I've been trying to change this thing about my love life. Or there's something about time. Whenever anyone tries to want to create something in their life, there's something about time that always comes into play. And I guarantee you, right? Because I don't meet people who believe they have all the time in the world to do what it is. I'm like, oh no, I don't meet people like that. Does anyone? I don't meet people like that. Most times I meet people who have conversations. They feel like they've been doing something too long. They feel like it's been taking too long. That time has been like, past, like the idea of it's not working in their favor. It's not working in their favor. And I feel that all the time. And I hear that all the time from people. And biggest piece of advice I gave myself, and for anybody who comes to me with that particular issue, is that you need to ignore the reality that you exist in. Time only exists in the 3-dimensional realm. Time only exists here. It only exists here. And to be honest with you, even in the 3rd-dimensional realm, time exists in its own spectrum. Because time for a Mayflower who lives for 24 hours and time for a human versus time for a tree are completely different time frames. Completely different. Time only exists here. But we are constantly worried about it. And the reason why we're worried about it is because we have been so focused on convenience and speed. We have been so focused on convenience and speed to create what it is that we want, to get what it is that we want, that we apply the same convenience and speed to our manifestations. We apply the same convenience and speed to our need to get the things that we want. Same exact speed. That's what we do. Absolutely no. It makes no sense. I was talking to somebody about affirmations earlier this week. They said that they had been doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been doing my affirmations for a few days and it's really not been working. And I have to ask, How long have you been in the problem that you've been in? How long have you dealt with financial insecurity? All my life. Man, I was raised poor. My family was broke. Great. So you have been dealing with the consciousness of poverty for 35 years. And you done did affirmations for 35 hours, and you're saying that your belief system should shift. Do you not realize that you are literally shifting the core of your identity? Quite literally shifting the core of your identity. Matter of fact, you don't want that to happen quickly. Take your time. If you could instantly get your manifestations, I feel like most people would be psychotic. I don't know. I'm making an assumption here. I feel like if you were to get exactly what you wanted, the instant that you wanted, I think most people would deal with psychosis. I think most people would deal with psychosis. I don't think I could wake up tomorrow morning. Me personally. If I woke up tomorrow morning, right, with like somebody just walked in and was like, "Hi, I'm the love of your life. Here's $5 million. And you don't have to do a thing today." I might glitch. I might glitch. I be telling people random, because this is what stream of consciousness is about. I be telling people if I won the lottery, I might have a panic attack. I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy. I'd jump for joy. I'd be excited about what's going on. And for a few, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, millions of dollars. But the moment I say some shit like millions of dollars, I'm gonna have a panic attack. You wanna know why I'm gonna have a panic attack? Because my reality doesn't, that kind of shift in a person's reality is monumental. What would y'all do if y'all won the lottery? I know everybody's just, oh yeah, mother. Nah, I don't know if that's me. Sometimes I don't even be playing the big numbers. I don't really be playing the lottery, period. But if I go to play the lottery, I'm not doing the big number. If it's 900 something million, I don't even want that. I don't want that reality. Nope. You know what the problem is with that? Is that the thing is it's weird that the things that we want for our life, we can only see the positive attributes of what it looks like when it happens, right? You say you want to like win millions of dollars in a lot. Let's say it's something like that, right? You want financial security in your. We're thinking about all of the positive outcomes that happen based on that. Hey, if I get 1 million followers, I can start making money on social media. I can grow my business. I'm going to be able to, conquer the world. I'll do whatever it is that I want to do with my life. We see all the positives. What's odd is that in the process of us going for this identity, we see all the negatives. Why does that happen? Why is it the process looks like it is more difficult, more strenuous, and an impossible feat? But you have this vision that once you get to where you need to go, you're going to be able to accomplish everything you sought after. It's weird to me. It's weird with me. Because I'm not thinking, like, I don't know. My life story is still unfolding. It's still unfolding. I could walk out this house and deal with a whole different situation for my day. I've dealt with that plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? I walk out thinking I'm going to go somewhere and I'm like, boom, now I'm in like a fender bender. You know what I'm saying? Or boom, I just got an invoice. I got a new project, or somebody sent me an email for a new opportunity out of nowhere. I didn't know it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about the negative when it comes to the things that I know I need to do and how it's supposed to look. But I think about the negatives in the process of what it takes for me to get there. So weird. So the folks who are in the captions too, we have some people who said that they are going to be taking the money and sharing it with others. That's great. You're following me, right? Because I'm others. Share with me. Share with me. I'd have to give money away. I'd have to give money away. I don't know where I'm gonna give it to and who I'm gonna give it to, but I have to give money away because there's no way I'm gonna have millions and millions of dollars. My consciousness couldn't hold that. I'm like, dang, with human suffering. But that's honestly, by the way, why what they say, 75-80% of lottery winners go broke in the next 3 to 5 years. Right? See kiss blends all the time. Never think about the negative. Yeah. To be honest with you, I prefer it that way. I am what people call toxically positive. you are likely what some people will call toxically positive. I think it's a fantastic way to exist in life. Personal opinion, but truly, there is no other way you should live. I live in toxic positivity, allegedly. I'm just using the word toxic because people think, oh, you always think things are going to work out well for you. Yes. 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 Why would I not? Why would I not? Why would you not think that? Why would you not think that? Thoughts become things. Why would I place any of that negativity in my way? The thing that I have to do is that when the obstacle does come, the inevitable one that you're saying that I should be aware of, regardless, like, oh, bad things are going to happen. I'm not saying that they aren't. What I am saying is that all things will work for my own good. There is a difference. Not saying everything will be good, but everything will work for my own good. My life is still unfolding. Where are we at on time? Bet. All right, cool. I'm live for a few more minutes. Please talk to me in the comments. What exactly it is you're growing? What exactly it is you're building? And what is the best version of yourself? What is the best version of yourself? I'm still trying to figure that out. I posted a video on Instagram talking about a piece of advice that I hate getting. I hate sharing it. And now I'm just more comfortable with letting people know that I don't think this is good advice. I've heard time and time again, be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't care about what anyone else thinks. Be yourself. Be authentic. I don't even like saying the word authentic. It makes me itch. Oh. When I tell you the world just keeps telling me, be yourself, be authentic. I don't like that advice. And I think it's bad advice. Matter of fact, I know that being yourself and being authentic is bad advice because it does two things. One, it implies that prior to you saying that, I wasn't being myself. And if you, outside person, have a better understanding about who I am, why don't you tell me? Because it sounds like doing that would literally contradict the idea that I should not accept external opinions about who I am. So please, tell me how to be myself. How about you tell me how to be myself, since I'm not doing that? And then number two, the reason why I don't like that piece of advice is because I am still creating, unlearning, and discovering who I am. I am a piece of constant evolution. I am not a finite being. You are not a finite being. So the be yourself, the person I am today authentically, will not be who I am authentically, could be in the next 10 minutes or the next 10 years, because I will shift. That is what I am doing. I am constantly shifting and constantly evolving. So who I am is also changing. Don't hold me to who you saw yesterday. I don't know that person no more. They've been through 24 hours of existence. Consciousness has changed. Consciousness has changed. You meet me on one day where I am filled with doubt, anxiety, and discouragement. Meet me on another, and I will be president of the world. And that's not a mental health illness, okay? That's just the harmony of life. All right. We have some folks in here who's like, I want to make sure everyone is well. I want to make sure I be an inspiration for others to be their best selves. I believe that you are the only person that can tell yourself who you are. You're the only person who could tell yourself who you are. That's why I don't tell people, oh, be yourself. Don't, because yourself in this very moment could be anxiety ridden. Yourself could be somebody who is dealing with all of those things. Honestly and truthfully, if you really want to get advice from me, don't be yourself. Be the person you want to be. Forget yourself. Forget what you think yourself is, right? Because all you have to build together what you call yourself is the ego that you've created. Whatever beliefs the world has given you, whatever belief society has given you, whatever circumstances you exist in, that's what you think you are. Forget all that. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? You don't even got to be it. Sometimes I be looking at like some people be taking that to the highest umpteenth degree. You ever be seeing folks who like pretend to be doctors? That's dangerous. I'm not at all. But there's some folks who be like, I really want to be a doctor. I'm gonna just go ahead and start practicing. You know what I mean? Be the thing. Be the thing. Skip all the other. Skip the yourself part. Skip the yourself part, because I couldn't, I don't know how to say this, because I know words are wands and they create your reality. So I'm going to say something even though I know that I'm going to have to work through what it is that I'm about to say. I don't know who I don't know what is myself, or what is the self that I am. I don't fully know it yet. Right? It's not, I feel like that level of knowing is taught to me the day after I die. Talk to me the day after I die. Then I'm gonna be like, you know what? I see what I was. I see what I was. I couldn't imagine. I can't answer that question. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing this right now. So I'm like, nah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't blame anybody who wants to make a change in their life to become that version of themselves, or become the best version. I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to change. I don't be blaming people like that. I realize the older I get is the more grace I have for people who are 60 years old and they act 16. The older I get, and I be meeting folks who are grown, and you could tell that they growth was stunted at some point, and they just like they got the emotional maturity, they got the capacity, they got the belief of somebody who just never evolved. I got grace for those people. They ain't like all up in my frequency field, but I got grace. And I got grace because identity shifting, changing who you are, changing your beliefs is quite arguably the most difficult thing a human being can do. Folks be talking like it's easy. It's simple. It's not easy. It is simple. It is not easy. It is not easy at all. At all. And I get stronger and stronger every time I do it. Question in the comments. What do you think you need most right now? Discipline. There's an incredible book called Discipline is Destiny. Ryan Holiday. What I need right now is discipline. Because discipline is the thing that gets you from the person that you are to the person that you want to become. I be tempted by so many things, and I will dive into my temptations. I'm still doom scrolling. From time to time, I like having a sweet treat. You know what I mean? I'm doing things that I know that my future identity, the person that I want to become, shouldn't be doing. I know I'm doing those things, and I'm okay. I'm not okay with it, because I know in there I'm like, I should be doing better. But that's also why I said before that I am here to create a reality. I'm here to create my dreams, but I know that I'm not operating at my highest capacity. Some days that gets to me, and other days I realize that even the speed that I'm operating at is somebody else's max capacity. That's what we got to understand. If you are a high capacity individual, if you are somebody who can create things, who you could take something from your imagination and bring it into a third dimensional realm, you will undoubtedly deal with times where you feel like you're lazy, where you're not doing enough. And the reason is because you've seen yourself do exceptional things. You've seen yourself at the wire, your brain's on fire, your things are moving. And when it doesn't look like that, you're saying to yourself, I'm not moving at the speed that I know that I could be moving, but not realizing that even your mediocrity is someone else's mastery. You are usually riding a Lamborghini, but even when you inside of a Jeep, you still looking like, I must have been I'm Flintstoning now. I feel like I'm in a bicycle. Not realizing you're still on the highway. You're still on the highway, but you're judging yourself based on your max capacity. Right? That's insane. You're judging yourself on your max capacity. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's a wild place to be. I'm talking to myself here. Talking to myself here. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm like, Queena, that's what you're going to tell the world, right? You want them to know that, but what's good with you? Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, cool. So we're coming up at the end of this live stream. Oh, my goodness. We're coming to the end of this live stream. For anybody who did hop onto this live, first and foremost, thank you so much. If you watch this replay on YouTube or on Twitch, again, thank you so much, because listening to someone's stream of consciousness, you could be anywhere right now, possibly creating the reality that you want to see for yourself. But instead, you are here being inspired, a little sidetracked, distracted by me, hopefully filled with some comedic influences. So I'm curious. Be sure to put into the comments below, what are you doing to create your reality? Was this helpful in the process of creating it? If you have any questions, drop them in there, because if I see them, I will just talk about them inside of the next episode. And I am here live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. EST. And for anybody who is at the sound of my voice, please, please, please ignore your current reality, because you are building the one that you desire. You are a creator, and you can create anything, including what you want to see. I love every single one of you. Have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to try not to be distracted. Blessings.